All right, let's talk about two tiny little letters that cause a massive amount of confusion. I, E. You'd think it's simple, right? But getting it right can be surprisingly tricky. So in the next few minutes, we're going to clear this all up for good. So let me ask you, and be honest, are you 100% sure you're using IE correctly every single time you type it out? If there's even a tiny bit of hesitation in your answer, well, you're in exactly the right place.
Okay, take a look at this sentence right here. This is a mistake you see all the time. And hey, I'm willing to bet you might have even made it yourself at some point. But why is it wrong? Like, what's the actual problem? And what's the right way to fix it? Let's unpack that.
Okay, the secret to getting this right, it really all comes down to one simple rule that honestly changes everything. It's about understanding the core job of IE. Its purpose is to clarify, not to give examples. That's it. That's the whole game. So to really get this, we've got to go back to its roots. A little language history here. IE is actually an abbreviation for a Latin phrase id est. Now, this isn't just some trivia fact. It's literally the key to unlocking how to use it perfectly. And you know what est translates to? It's simply that is, or, and this is my favorite way to remember it, in other words. Here's the trick. If you can't swap out IE with in other words and have the sentence still make perfect sense, you're probably using it wrong. That is the golden key right there. And this is the big aha moment for so many people. Just think of it like this. IE equals in other words. You use it to clarify or restate something. Its famous cousin, e.g., means for example, and you use it to give, well, examples. They're absolutely not interchangeable. One clarifies, the other gives examples. Simple as that. Okay, so let's circle back to that first sentence we looked at. See, carrots, potatoes, and beets are examples of root vegetables. They're not another way of saying root vegetables. So if you really want to clarify what a root vegetable is, you'd use IE to define it. In other words, vegetables that grow underground. See that difference? One gives a list, the other gives a definition. Let's look at a few more solid examples. We'll meet in the main room, i.e., the room by the entrance. See, that's not an example of a room, it's just clarifying which room. Or how about the project is due soon, i.e., next Friday. We're making soon more specific. One more. She works in back-end infrastructure, i.e., the part of the system users never see. In every single one of these, we're just restating the idea in a different way. We're not listing examples. All right, so you've totally got the meaning down. Awesome. But then there's the next challenge. How do you actually write the darn thing? With the dots, with a comma after it? Nothing? Yeah, it's a bit of a punctuation puzzle. And no, you're not going crazy. You have definitely seen it written in a bunch of different ways. And here's the confusing part. Depending on the specific style guide or where you are in the world, they can all be correct. Fun, right? So as you can see here, there are a few different correct ways to do it. The one you'll see most often, especially in American English, is IE with the periods, followed by a comma. But then, over in the UK or in a lot of technical manuals, you might see it without the periods at all. So the big takeaway here is that, yeah, it really just depends on the context. Okay, let's talk about a super practical problem, that dreaded, annoying red squiggly line from your spell checker. Why does your computer seem to get so mad at you when you just type IE without the dots? I mean, come on, we've all been there, right? You're typing fast, you just pop in IE to save a couple keystrokes, and bam, your spell checker flags it. It's a super common frustration, but believe it or not, there's a really logical reason why it happens. It's actually pretty simple. Your spell checker is basically just a robot following rules. It's programmed with standard American or international English where the accepted form has periods. So when it sees IE without the dots, it doesn't think, oh, that's the British abbreviation. It thinks, hey, did you mean to type lie or tie? It just sees a typo. Okay, so after going through all those different rules and exceptions, you're probably just thinking, okay, great, just tell me which one to use. I hear you. So let's cut through the noise and give you one single go-to recommendation that'll work for pretty much all your professional writing. Look, when you're writing for work, an email, a document, a blog post, whatever, you just want to be clear and look professional, right? You don't want someone getting hung up on your punctuation. And luckily, there's one form that is almost universally accepted and just works. And here it is, folks. Your safest bet, the one that will pretty much never get you in trouble, is IE.
That's with periods after each letter and a comma right after. It's clean, it's standard, and it just avoids all the confusion.
Just look at how clean and professional these sentences look. Using IE with the comma smoothly introduces that clarification part of the sentence. Trust me, this is the format that's going to serve you best in almost any setting you can think of. And there you have it. You are now officially a master of using IEE. So that just leaves one last question for you. Now that you've got this piece of the puzzle solved, what's the next punctuation rule that still feels like a total mystery to you? Keep on learning and definitely keep on questioning.